simple. It's not rocket science.
That's it. It's not rocket science. 4 very simple steps.
You know, it's not rocket science, and it's particularly not rocket science.
You know, it's not rocket science. Yeah.
Don't worry, it's not rocket science.
It's not rocket science.
See how simple that is? It's not rocket science.
Do you think that you can deceive me?
Deceive. Deceive.
Do you think that you can deceive me? Do you think that you can deceive me?
Deceive. Deceive.
He's reckless, he's dangerous.
He's reckless, he's dangerous.
Reckless. Reckless.
He's reckless, he's dangerous.
Time.
Gear up. Gear up.
Gear up. It's time.
Gear up.
In front of me.
Insult. Insult.
Never insult Albus Dumbledore in front of me.
Insult. Insult.
Never.
We ain't friends, are we?
We ain't friends, are we?
Ain't. Ain't.
We ain't friends, are we?
We
Aggravate. Aggravate.
Besides, the dust aggravates my condition.
Aggravate. Aggravate.
Negotiable.
Oh.
Negotiable. Negotiable.
We shall assist you under 2 conditions. These conditions are not negotiable.
Oh.
Negotiable. Negotiable.
Belong down in Arendelle. So do you.
So do you. So do you.
You belong down in Arendelle.
Abandon.
I did not abandon you.
Abandon. Abandon.
I did not abandon you.
Somehow, by hook and by crook.
Oh, I must get there, by hook or by crook.
When you couldn't get it through Congress, by hook or by crook, by phone, by pen, you got it in.
Oh, you move sheep from point A to point B with it, by hook or by crook.
We had to do everything by hook or by crook.
It's taken from us by hook and crook.
Somehow.
Oh.
Negotiable. Negotiable. Chill out.
Chill out. Chill out.
Chill out. Chill out.
Chill out.
It will provoke an endless cycle of more tit for tat.
And engaging in a tit for tat around jobs.
We can't get engaged in a daily tit for tat.
This is not a political tit for tat situation.
Both countries do this tit for tat all the time.
Well, I don't want to get into the tit for tat on that right now.
Fighting, tit for tat. There is no end with tit for tat. There's always a tit that you can tat against, and there's always a tat that you can tit against. It's a never-ending cycle.
It will provoke an endless cycle of more tit for tat.
And engaging
that we're doing this willy-nilly.
And you can't make those changes willy-nilly. You got to ask permission to do that.
We don't want government to be looking through everybody's phones. Willy-nilly.
You can't just say whatever you want and go all willy-nilly with your character count. There are rules here.
It's not just that people are being released willy-nilly.
So again, it's not a willy-nilly approach.
So you don't just give it away willy-nilly and then you don't have any left.
It is not true that it has been this sort of willy-nilly, let's bomb a village.
That we're doing this willy-nilly.
And you can't make those changes willy-nilly. You got to ask permission to do that.
We don't want government to be looking through everybody's phones. Willy-nilly.
You can't just...
Don't let me down. All right? Don't let the country down.
Don't let me down now. All right.
Don't let me down, especially you, Guillermo.
Okay.
So don't let me down.
Because they don't want to let me down.
Don't let me down.
Don't get me wrong, it's incredibly important.
Now, don't get me wrong, please.
Don't get me wrong, 10 is quite a few.
Don't get me wrong, we need rules.
Please don't get me wrong on that.
Don't get me wrong, that is really great, but...
don't get me wrong, I'm not against making money.
Behave yourself, young man. You can do so much better when you try.
No, behave yourself, or you'll be removed from the building. They'll tell you to sit down. They'll tell you to behave yourself.
you must behave yourself well clause.
Behave yourself in public.
You have to behave yourself until you get there.
Behave yourself, young man.
I'm dying to know what's going on in that brain of his.
I'm dying to know how the story plays out.
Okay, I'm dying to know what they were doing there.
I'm dying to know that.
And we're still dying to know which came first, the chicken or the egg.
But are dying to know how it's done.
I knew you were dying to know that.
Yeah, Michelle is dying to know how they grow lettuce on the International Space Station.
I'm dying to know what's going on in that brain of his.
I'm dying to know how the story plays out.
We'll do the trick.
Yeah.
Use oil. Horticultural oil would do the trick.
Those tools won't do the trick.
Unfortunately, that didn't do the trick.
And right about there should do the trick.
Look, I just think that doesn't do the trick. We'll do the trick.
Yeah.
Use
making money.
Don't get me wrong.
Again, don't get me wrong.
Don't get me wrong, it's incredibly important.
Now, don't get me wrong.
Down. All right? Don't let the country down.
Don't let me down now. All right.
Don't let me down, especially you, Guillermo.
Okay.
So don't let me down.
Because they don't want to let me down.
Don't let me down. All right? Don't let the country down.
Do you think that you can deceive me?
Deceive. Deceive.
Do you think that you can deceive me? Do you think that you can deceive me?
Deceive. Deceive.
Do you think
Integral part.
On the contrary, in my experience, they do care. They're passionate about social action.
On the contrary, I am humbled by how much more we have to do.
On the contrary, we need information on uncertainty.
On the contrary, it can become exceptionally personal. On the contrary, it's critical.
Plot on the contrary.
On the contrary, that I think raises the interest of the United States.
On the contrary, we will collaborate with industry to find technology.
On the contrary, in my experience, they do care. They're passionate about social action.
On the contrary, I am humbled by how much more we have to do.
So, for instance.
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 From now on.
So, from now on.
But from now on.
From now on.
From now on,
it's supposed to be hard. The hard is what makes it great.
And I'm also supposed to be wearing the mask, but I won't do that today.
Okay.
You're supposed to be in a loving family. You're supposed to have that support around you.
You're supposed to be quiet.
This is supposed to be a portrait of Louis Roy by Gauguin from 1889.
You know, this is not supposed to be this way. Something has gone wrong.
Because there is no doubt racism affects our society.
There is no doubt this is the biggest conservation opportunity in Africa.
And there is no doubt that he wants you to know he's with you. He's with you.
But there is no doubt that Hitler's oration abilities are
I was about to die.
And I was about to leave. And
I was about to move on.
And I was about to begin my adult smart person life.
And I was about to become homeless. I was like, damn.
I was about to give up.
I was about to embark on a cross-country bicycle trip.
I was about to die.
And I was about to leave. And
I was about to move on.
The truth that regardless of race,
I give you the opportunity of a lifetime and you just blow it.
Opportunity. Opportunity. Opportunity.
I give you the opportunity of a lifetime and you just blow it.
I give you.
Those people who are in that position can still have mobile phones.
Now, on the systems side, on the other hand, so much of the suffering is unnecessary.
This brain, on the other hand, can perform hundreds of mental operations at the same time, very rapidly.
And to distinguish clearly and publicly between Russia, on the one hand, and the Kremlin regime, on the other hand.